Good morning, Oakhurst. Happy 100th anniversary. I like saying that, you know. We are excited as a stewardship committee to kick off our annual stewardship campaign on today as we celebrate 100 years of sowing seeds and growing lives full of God's grace, His love, and His mercy. And we look forward to the next 100 years. As I thought about doing this, I couldn't help but think about 32 years ago when I joined this church. I can keep up with it because it's when I married Carter Wilson. So I can remember it because of that. And I remember sitting with Nibs as we did our marriage counseling. Carter didn't know what he was getting into at the time. But as he did our marriage counseling, and I thought about how I heard God through him. And I heard God every single time I walked into this church. I felt His presence. I felt His love. I didn't just hear Him, I saw Him. I saw Him in the actions of everyone in this church. I saw it through the love that got displayed from those in this church. And I saw it through the activities that happened in this community as a result of the love that happened in this church. That's sowing seeds and growing God's love and His grace, not only in this church, but in this community. So happy 100th. So as we get ready to talk about our campaign, I want to read to you the scripture because, see, I'm one of those people. As I celebrate the last 100, the strategic planner in me is thinking about the next 100, right? That's what this campaign is about. How do we continue to do this work that we've already been doing? So the scripture that we based our theme on for this year's campaign was 2 Corinthians 9:10 through 11. And I'm reading to you through the Message version. This most generous God who gives seed to the farmer that becomes bread for your meals is more than extravagant with you. God gives you something you can then give away, which grows into full-formed lives, robust in God, wealthy in every way, so that you can be generous in every way, producing with us great praise to God. Now, first of all, I want to just say this. Our stewardship campaign is not just about asking you all for money to fulfill our budget. It encompasses so much more. And I hope you just heard a little bit about that in what I said before as I started this. It is the way we use all of the resources God has entrusted to us, to our care, so that we can love God and our neighbors. Quite simply, it is a matter of the heart. Stewardship is about love, God's boundless love for us, and our love for God and our love for our neighbors. This past week, as we sat in the stewardship committee, and I listened to the conversations, and then I went home and I began to prepare how I would share with you all about the stewardship campaign. I couldn't help but reflect on that conversation that we had. And we recognize as a committee that right now is a really difficult time for a lot of people. There's a lot of uncertainty in our economy. People are struggling, and we recognize that. But we also recognize, and I thought about a family that talked about how hard it was for them when stewardship came around and they were trying to make a decision about their gifts. And that family talked about the fact that they'd always been one that gave a lot, but then they had to think about it, and they prayerfully went into consideration about what they would do. And rather than step away from giving, they made a decision not to give quite as much. But you know what? That's okay, because God knows our hearts, God knows our love, and God will always, always be there to take care of us. So we talked about that, and we are grateful as a campaign committee, stewardship campaign committee, for any pledge that you are able to give, and we ask that you prayerfully consider that. We also talked about regular givers. You know those people who come to church every single Sunday, but they don't feel comfortable with making a pledge? We appreciate you. And the committee wanted me to be sure that I said that. We appreciate your commitment and your dedication to this church because you mean so much to us. But I also wanted to talk about time and talent. It means so much to us because there are many people. We have college students who come here. We have elderly who are here that maybe can't make a pledge, and some can't even give a whole lot. But you know what they do? They give us their time and they give us their talents. And we are so grateful for those. That makes up this campaign. We want to make sure that there is a place for everyone in this church to support the work of this church. So, in your pews, you have this little brochure. It's a 3-fold brochure that the committee worked really hard on. You have it in there. I hope you will take some time, and I hope you will look at it. It's going to be a 5-week campaign, and you won't have to hear from me again. Well, not really, not my voice, but you're going to get an email, you're going to get a letter in the mail, and that letter in the mail will have this document in it, but it'll also have a budget narrative, and that budget narrative will talk to you about the work that we do at Oakhurst, and it'll share with you where the funds go that you support us with here at Oakhurst. So I hope you will take some time and you will read that and really, again, prayerfully consider your commitment to our work here at Oakhurst. You're also going to get a newsletter every week, like you did when we were in quarantine. I remember you'd get the videos and you'd see the videos and we'd make the appeal to you through those videos. You're still going to get that, and you're going to get the appeals through the videos. We'll be sharing with you again the message that you will hear every Sunday through 4 additional speakers who will be coming to you. On the website, there's a link that you can go to that you'll be able to make a commitment to us. We also have a QR code in this. Look at us, y'all. We got a QR code that you can also go to that will take you directly to the link, and you can make a commitment to us here at Oakhurst to continue to sow those seeds, to continue to grow God's love, His mercy, and His grace, not only here in this church, but throughout this community. Thank you for what you do, and more than anything, thank you for prayerfully considering your commitment to Oakhurst Baptist Church. Presbyterians.